The station was called Marker 7. It floated in the dark space between two star systems, and it was not a nice place. Criminals came here. Smugglers came here. People who wanted to hide came here. The lights were always dim. The air always smelled like oil and rust. Ho did not like Marker 7, but he had nowhere else to go. He was a human, 32 years old, with tired eyes and rough hands. 5 years ago, he had owned a small restaurant on Earth. It was a good restaurant. People came from far away to eat his soup. But then there was a fire. Everything burned. His wife died in that fire. After that, Ho could not stay on Earth anymore. The memories were too painful. So he came to Marker 7. He opened a tiny food stall in the lower market. He cooked soup. That was all he knew how to do. Tonight was like every other night. Ho stood behind his counter, stirring a large pot of vegetable soup. The smell was warm and good. It reminded him of home. It reminded him of his wife. The market was quiet. Only a few customers walked by. Most of them were aliens. There were tall ones with 4 arms, short ones with scales, fat ones with tentacles. Ho had learned to not be surprised by anything. He sold 3 bowls of soup. Then he sold 2 more. The night grew late. Ho began to clean his pots. That was when he heard the sound. It was a small sound, a scratching, like an animal moving behind his stall. Ho stopped cleaning. He listened. The sound came again, scratch, scratch. He picked up his ladle. It was not a weapon, but it was heavy. Slowly he walked around the counter. Behind his stall there were old boxes and broken pipes. The shadows were thick. Ho saw something move. He raised his ladle. Who is there? No answer. He stepped closer. His heart beat fast. On this station many bad things hid in the dark. Thieves, killers, monsters. Then he saw her. She was small, very small. She sat between 2 boxes, pressing her body against the wall. Her skin was pale gray, almost silver in the dim light. Her eyes were huge and completely black. No white part, just black like deep pools of ink. She had thin arms and thin legs. Her fingers were long with small claws at the ends. She was a child, an alien child. Ho lowered his ladle. The girl stared at him. Her black eyes showed fear, pure, simple fear. He knew what she was. He had heard stories. She was. They were famous across the galaxy. They were hunters, killers, assassins. They could move without making any sound. They could see in complete darkness. Their claws could cut through metal. Grown were the most feared creatures in known space. Governments hired them to kill enemies. Crime lords hired them to eliminate problems. No one escaped a hunter. But this was not a hunter. This was a child, a starving, frightened child. Ho could see her ribs through her gray skin. Her arms were like sticks. Her cheeks were hollow. When was the last time she had eaten? Days, weeks. Hey, he said softly, it is okay. The girl pressed harder against the wall. A small sound came from her throat. It was not a word. It was a sound of fear. Ho crouched down. He made himself small, less scary. Are you hungry? The girl's huge eyes moved to look at his face. Then they moved to look at his stall, at the pot of soup. Wait here, Ho said. Do not run. He went back to his counter. His hands moved quickly. He filled a bowl with hot soup. He added extra vegetables, extra broth. He grabbed a spoon and walked back to the shadows. The girl had not moved. She watched him with those black eyes. Ho placed the bowl on the ground. He pushed it toward her. Then he stepped back. Eat, he said. It is safe. The girl did not move at first. She looked at the bowl. She looked at Ho. She looked at the bowl again. Then hunger won. She grabbed the bowl with both hands. She did not use the spoon. She lifted the bowl to her mouth and drank. The soup ran down her chin. She did not care. She drank and drank until the bowl was empty. When she finished, she looked at Ho. Her black eyes were different now. The fear was still there, but there was something else too, confusion. She did not understand why he had helped her. More, Ho asked. The girl said nothing, but she held out the empty bowl. Ho smiled. It was the first real smile he had felt in years. He filled the bowl again and again. The girl ate 3 bowls of soup. By the 3rd bowl she was slower, more careful, she even used the spoon. "What is your name?" Ho asked. The girl looked at him. For a long moment she said nothing. Then, in a voice like a whisper, she spoke. Ho repeated, "That is a nice name, I am Ho." Did not respond. She finished her soup and placed the bowl on the ground. Then, without warning, she stood up. She moved fast, faster than Ho could follow with his eyes. One moment she was there. The next moment she was gone, disappeared into the shadows. Ho stood alone behind his stall. He looked at the empty bowl on the ground. He looked at the dark space where had been. "Strange," he said to himself. He picked up the bowl and went back to cleaning. The next night came back. Ho found her in the same spot, hiding between the boxes. This time she did not look as scared. She looked at him with those big black eyes and she waited. He did not ask questions. He just brought her soup. She ate 2 bowls this time. When she finished, she looked at him and said, "Thank you." Then she disappeared again. On the 3rd night, Ho prepared extra soup. He was not surprised when he heard the scratching sound behind his stall. He filled a bowl before he even went to look. Was waiting. She took the bowl from his hands. This time she did not run away immediately. She sat on one of the boxes and ate slowly. Ho sat on another box a few feet away. He did not want to scare her. "Where do you sleep?" he asked. Did not answer. "Do you have parents, family?" Still no answer. Ho sighed. "It is okay, you do not have to tell me." They sat in silence, finished her soup. She held the empty bowl in her small hands and stared at it. "Why?" she asked suddenly. Ho looked at her. "Why what? Why do you give me food?" It was a simple question, but the answer was complicated. Ho thought about his wife. He thought about the fire. He thought about all the years of pain and loneliness. "Because you were hungry," he said finally. "That is enough reason." Stared at him for a long time. Her black eyes were impossible to read. Then she did something strange. She reached out and touched his hand, just for a second. Her fingers were cold, but the touch was gentle. "Thank you," she said again. Then she was gone. Ho looked at his hand. He could still feel the cold touch of her fingers. He thought about the stories. The terrible stories about the killers, monsters, silent death in the night. But all he saw was a hungry child. He went back to his counter and started preparing tomorrow's soup. He would make extra, just in case. On the 4th night, everything changed. Ho was serving a customer when 3 men walked into his stall area. They were big, mean-looking. They wore the colors of the Black Spiral gang. Everyone on Marker 7 knew the Black Spiral. They controlled the lower market. They sold drugs. They sold weapons. They sold people. The leader was a human with a scar across his face. He smiled at Ho, but it was not a friendly smile. "Nice stall you have here," the man said. "We heard you have been feeding a little girl." Ho felt his blood go cold. "I do not know what you're talking about." The man laughed. "Do not lie to us, cook. We have eyes everywhere. That little runt belongs to us. She escaped from our ship 3 weeks ago." Ho's hands tightened into fists. "Belongs to you." "We paid good money for her. Children are valuable. They grow up to be perfect killers, perfect assassins. Some rich lord will pay a fortune for a trained." Ho felt sick. These men were traffickers. They had stolen. They were going to sell her like property. "I have not seen any child," Ho said. His voice was calm, but inside he was shaking. "Now please leave my stall." The man stopped smiling. He stepped closer. "Listen carefully, cook. If you see that girl, you will tell us. If you help her, if you hide her, we will find out, and then we will kill you, slowly." He reached out and knocked over Ho's soup pot. Hot soup spilled across the ground. "Think about it," the man said. Then he and his men walked away. Ho stood in the mess of spilled soup. His heart pounded, his hands shook. He thought about her thin body, her frightened eyes, her cold little fingers. He should stay out of this. He should protect himself. He should not get involved. But he knew he would not do that. He cleaned up the mess. He made more soup, and when night came, he went to the shadows behind his stall. Was there, waiting, hungry. Ho crouched down and looked at her. "You are in danger," he said. "Bad men are looking for you." His black eyes went wide. Fear filled her face, real, terrible fear. "Do not worry," Ho said. "I will not let them take you." He did not know how he would keep that promise. He was just a cook, a broken man with nothing but a soup pot. But he would try. He would try. After that night, Ho became more careful. He moved some old boxes behind his stall to create a small hiding space. He put a blanket there, a pillow, a place where could sleep without being seen. She came every night now. Sometimes she came before the market closed. Sometimes she came after, but she always came, and Ho always had soup waiting for her. They began to talk more, small conversations, simple words. "How old are you?" Ho asked one night. Held up 6 fingers. 6 years old, Ho said. "You are very young." Nodded. She was eating her soup slowly, holding the bowl close to her chest. She had gained a little weight in the past 2 weeks. Her cheeks were not as hollow anymore. Her arms were not as thin. "Where is your mother?" Ho asked carefully. Stopped eating. Her black eyes became sad, so sad that Ho felt his heart hurt. "Gone," whispered. "Bad men took me away. I do not know where mother is." Ho clenched his fists under the table. The traffickers. They had stolen this child from her family. They had ripped her away from her mother. "I am sorry," he said. "That is very bad." Looked at him. "Do you have a mother?" "She died long ago, when I was young." "Do you have children?" Ho paused. The question hit him hard. He and his wife had wanted children. They had tried for years, but it never happened. Then the fire came and all those dreams burned away. "No," he said quietly, "I do not have children." Tilted her head. She seemed to think about this. Then she went back to eating her soup. The nights continued. Ho cooked, ate. They talked about small things, told him about her home world. It was a dark planet with tall forests and deep caves. They lived in family groups called packs. Each pack had hunters and guardians and healers. His mother was a hunter, the best hunter in their pack. "Mother can move without sound," said proudly. "She can see in complete dark. She caught the big beast once, the one with 10 legs. No one else could catch it." "She sounds amazing," Ho said. "She is looking for me," said. Her voice was certain. "I know she is. Mother always finds what she hunts." Ho hoped that was true. He hoped that somewhere out there, a mother was searching for her stolen daughter. But until then, he would keep safe. That was getting harder. The Black Spiral gang did not forget about the child. They sent men to watch the market. Ho saw them standing in corners, pretending to shop but really looking, searching, waiting. He had to be more careful about feeding. He waited until late at night when most of the watchers had gone home. He used the back entrance to his stall. He made sure no one followed him. But someone was always watching on a station like Marker 7. One night a station security officer came to his stall. He was a fat alien with green skin and 4 eyes. His name was Officer. Everyone knew he took bribes from the gangs. "Human," Officer said, leaning on the counter. "I hear interesting things about you." Ho kept his face calm. "I am just a cook. There is nothing interesting about me." "People say you feed a child, a runaway, property of the Black Spiral." "People say many things. Most of them are lies." Officer smiled. It was an ugly smile. "The Black Spiral pays good money for information. If you know where the girl is, you should tell me. I will make sure you get a reward." Ho pretended to think about it. "I do not know where any girl is. but if I see one, I will let you know. Officer stared at him with all four eyes. He was trying to decide if Ho was lying. After a long moment, he nodded. See that you do, he said. Then he walked away. Ho let out a breath he did not know he was holding. That was close, too close. That night, he did not go to sea until very late. The station lights had dimmed to their night cycle. Most of the market was empty. Only a few drunk aliens wandered the streets. Ho moved through the shadows. He carried a pot of soup wrapped in cloth to keep it warm. He checked behind him 3 times. No one was following. He found in the hiding spot. She was curled up under the blanket, her black eyes glowing faintly in the dark. I brought food, Ho whispered. Sat up quickly, she sniffed the air. Soup, the one with meat. Ho smiled. He had learned that liked the meat soup best. He made it special for her now, with extra pieces of protein. He poured some into a bowl and handed it to her. She drank it eagerly. Ho said while she ate, "We need to be more careful. Bad men are watching. They are looking for you." Nodded. I know, I can smell them. They smell like anger and greed. Ho blinked. You can smell their emotions. Yes, all can. Mother taught me. Happy people smell like warm fruit. Sad people smell like rain. Angry people smell like burning metal. What do I smell like? Paused, she leaned closer and sniffed. Then she smiled. It was the first smile Ho had ever seen on her face. You smell like soup, she said. And kindness. Kindness smells like soft earth after water falls from the sky. Ho felt something warm spread through his chest. It had been a long time since anyone said something kind about him. Thank you. She went back to eating. When she finished, she looked up at him with serious eyes. The bad men will not stop looking, she said. They want to sell me. They said I am worth many credits. I know. You should give me to them. It would be safer for you. Ho shook his head firmly. No, I will never do that. Why? It was the same question she had asked before. Why did he help her? Why did he risk his life for a stranger? Ho thought about the answer. He thought about his wife. He thought about the restaurant that burned. He thought about all the years of running away from pain. Because some things are more important than being safe, he said finally. You are a child. You deserve to be protected. You deserve to be loved. I cannot give you to people who will hurt you. I cannot do that and still be a good person. Stared at him. Her black eyes were unreadable, but he thought he saw something change in them, something soften. Humans are strange, she said quietly. Yes, we are. But I think I like your kind of strange. She reached out and touched his hand again. This time, her fingers were not as cold. She held on for a moment, then let go. I will be more careful, she promised. I will hide better. I will not let them find me. Good, and I will keep bringing you soup. Smiled again. That small, rare smile that made Ho's heart feel lighter. The days passed. The danger grew. The black spiral became more aggressive. They started questioning everyone in the market. They offered a reward for information about the child. 1,000 credits, 2,000, 5,000. People began to watch Ho differently. Neighbors who used to be friendly now looked at him with suspicious eyes. They whispered behind his back. They wondered if he was hiding something valuable. One night, 2 gang members came to his stall while he was closing. They were not polite this time. They grabbed Ho and pushed him against the wall. Where is the girl? One of them demanded. He was big, with metal teeth and tattoos on his neck. I told your boss already. I do not know any girl. The gang member punched him in the stomach. Ho bent over, gasping for breath. Liar, we know you have been feeding her. We have witnesses. Ho coughed. Your witnesses are wrong. Another punch. This one hit his face. He tasted blood. Last chance, cook. Tell us where she is or we burn down your stall, with you inside. Ho looked up at them. His face hurt. His stomach hurt, but he did not feel afraid. He felt angry. These men hurt children. They sold people like objects. They were monsters wearing human faces. I do not know where she is, Ho said. But even if I did, I would never tell you. The gang member raised his fist again. Then something happened. A shadow moved behind them. It was fast, faster than anything Ho had ever seen. One moment there were two gang members. The next moment one of them was on the ground, unconscious, blood coming from his head. The other gang member spun around. What the? He did not finish. Something small and gray hit him in the chest. Claws flashed. The gang member screamed and fell. Stood over him. Her black eyes were cold. Her small claws were red with blood. She looked nothing like the frightened child Ho had found behind his stall. She looked like a predator, a tiny, terrifying predator. Do not hurt him, she said to the unconscious men. Her voice was flat, dangerous. He is mine. Ho stared at her. She turned to look at him. The coldness left her eyes. She was just a child again, a scared, worried child. Are you okay? She asked. They hurt you. I am fine. Ho touched his face. His lip was split. His eye was starting to swell. You should not have done that. They will know you are here now. Looked at the fallen gang members. Fear crept back into her eyes. I am sorry. I heard them hitting you. I could not let them hurt you more. Ho felt tears in his eyes. This child, this small, hunted child, she had risked everything to protect him. He knelt down and opened his arms. Hesitated, then she ran to him. She pressed her face against his chest. Her small body shook. I am scared, she whispered. I know, Ho held her tight. I am scared too. What do we do now? Ho looked at the unconscious gang members. Soon they would wake up. Soon they would tell their boss what happened. The black spiral would come in force. They would tear apart the market to find. We run, Ho said. We hide, we survive. He did not know how, he did not know where, but he would find a way. He had to. For her. They hid in the old maintenance tunnels below the market. Ho knew about these tunnels because a friend had shown them to him years ago. They were dirty and dark and full of broken pipes. Nobody came down here. It was the perfect hiding place. He had grabbed what he could from his stall, some food, some water, a few blankets. They would have to survive on that until he figured out a plan. Sat next to him in the darkness. Her black eyes glowed faintly like two small moons. She did not need light to see. She was made for the dark. I am sorry, she said for the 10th time. This is my fault. Stop saying that. Ho wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. You protected me. You were brave. Now they know where I am. They will find us. Maybe, maybe not. This station is big. We can stay hidden for a while. But Ho knew it was only a matter of time. The black spiral controlled most of Marker 7. They had spies everywhere. Sooner or later, someone would talk. Someone would point to the maintenance tunnels. They needed a better plan. They needed help. But who would help them? Ho had no friends on this station. No family. No allies. He was just a cook who made soup. He closed his eyes and tried to think. Above them, the station continued its endless noise. Machines hummed. Pipes groaned. People walked and talked and lived their lives. Nobody knew that a human and a child were hiding in the dark below. 2 days passed. Ho sneaked out at night to find food and water. He was careful. He watched for gang members. He avoided the security cameras. Each trip was dangerous, but they needed supplies to survive. Stayed in the tunnel. She was good at hiding, good at being silent. Sometimes Ho would come back and not see her at all, even though she was right there in the darkness. Then she would move, and suddenly he could see her again. You are very good at that, he said. Mother taught me. She said hiding is the first skill every must learn. Your mother sounds wise. His eyes grew sad. I miss her so much. Ho put his arm around her. She is looking for you. You said so yourself. She always finds what she hunts. But what if she cannot find me here? What if she looks on other stations, other planets? The galaxy is so big. Ho did not have an answer. The galaxy was big. Finding one small child among billions of stations and planets was almost impossible. But he did not say that. He just held close and let her cry. On the third night, something changed. Ho was returning from a supply run. He carried a bag of food paste and 2 bottles of water. Not much, but enough for a few more days. He was almost at the tunnel entrance when he felt it. Something was watching him. He stopped. The feeling was strong, like eyes pressing into his back, like a predator studying its prey. Ho's heart began to race. Slowly, he turned around. The corridor was empty, just pipes and shadows and dim emergency lights. But the feeling did not go away. "I know you are there," Ho said. His voice shook slightly. "Show yourself." For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the shadows moved. A figure stepped out of the darkness. It was tall, much taller than. Its skin was the same pale gray but darker, like storm clouds. Its eyes were black and enormous, filling half its face. It wore tight black clothes that seemed to blend with the shadows. Its hands hung at its sides, and Ho could see long, sharp claws at the end of each finger. It was an adult. Ho felt real fear now. Cold, paralyzing fear. He had heard the stories. Adults were killing machines. They could move through shadows like ghosts. They could cut through steel with their claws. They could kill a dozen armed soldiers before anyone even saw them. This could kill him in a heartbeat. He would not even see it coming. "Where is she?" The spoke. Its voice was low and cold, female. "Where is my daughter?" Ho's fear changed. Not less, but different. This was not a random assassin. This was a mother looking for her child. He said, "You are mother." The moved closer, so fast that Ho did not see it move. One moment she was 10 feet away. The next moment she was right in front of him. Her black eyes stared into his face. "You know her name, you know where she is." It was not a question. "Tell me now." "I will tell you, but first I need to know you are really her mother. Told me bad men are looking for her. How do I know you are not one of them?" They made a sound. It might have been a laugh. It might have been a growl. "You think you can stop me? You are one small human. I could tear you apart before you could scream." "Yes, you could, but you have not done that yet. That tells me something." They paused. Her huge eyes studied him with new interest. "What does it tell you?" "It tells me you are not here to hurt anyone. You just want your daughter back." Silence. They stood completely still. She did not seem to breathe. She was like a statue carved from gray stone. Then slowly something changed in her eyes. The coldness softened just a little. "My name is," she said. "I have been searching for 47 days. I tracked her scent across 4 stations and 2 planets. I will do anything to find her. Anything." "I believe you." "Then take me to her, please." The word surprised Ho. Please. This deadly creature, this silent killer, had said please. He nodded. "Follow me, but move quietly. There are bad men looking for her. They might be watching." "I know about the black spiral." His voice turned hard again. "I found some of their men on my way here. They told me things before they died." Ho swallowed. He did not ask what things. He did not want to know. They walked through the corridors together, moved without sound. Her feet touched the ground, but there was no noise, no footsteps, nothing. It was like walking next to a ghost. They reached the tunnel entrance. Ho climbed down first, followed, flowing down the ladder like water. The tunnel was dark. Ho could not see anything, but he knew the way by memory now. He walked forward, counting his steps. Then he heard it. A small gasp, a cry, a word that needed no translation. "Mother!" Something rushed past Ho in the darkness, small and fast. He heard the sound of bodies colliding. He heard crying. He heard soft words in a language he did not understand. Then there was light. had pulled out a small glowing stone. It gave off a soft blue light that filled the tunnel, and in that light Ho saw them. Was wrapped around her mother. Her arms and legs clung to like she would never let go. Her face was buried in her mother's chest. She was crying, deep, shaking sobs that made her whole body tremble. Held her daughter, her arms wrapped around the small body, her face pressed against his head. Her eyes were closed, and even in the blue light, Ho could see tears running down her gray cheeks. "My baby," whispered. "My little one, I found you. I finally found you." "Mother, mother, mother," repeated the word over and over like a prayer. "I knew you would come, I knew it. I will always come for you, always, no matter how far, no matter how long." Ho stood apart from them. He felt like he was watching something private, something sacred, a mother and daughter reunited after terrible separation. He thought about his wife. He thought about the children they never had. He felt sadness, but also something else. Joy, real joy for these two beings who had found each other again. After a long time, looked up. Her black eyes met Ho's eyes. "You," she said, "you kept her safe. I just gave her soup. You did more than that, told me about you. She said you were kind. She said you protected her when the bad men came. She said you gave up your home to hide with her." Ho shrugged. It was the right thing to do. Sat down gently. The child still held her mother's hand, like she was afraid would disappear. The tall walked toward Ho. She moved slowly now, deliberately, not like a predator, like a person. She stopped in front of him. She was much taller. She had to look down to meet his eyes. "Among the," she said, "there is a thing called a life debt. When someone saves your child, you owe them everything, your time, your skills, your protection, your life if needed." Ho shook his head. "I do not need payment. I did not do it for a reward." "I know, that is why the debt is even greater," reached out and touched his chest, right over his heart. "You are a good person, human, was right about you. My name is Ho." Ho repeated the name carefully. "I will remember it forever." Ran forward and grabbed Ho's hand. "Mother, can Ho come with us, please? I do not want to leave him." Looked at her daughter, then she looked at Ho. "The black spiral will not stop hunting you," she said. "You helped their property escape. You cost them money. They will want revenge." Ho nodded slowly. He had known this. He had known that his life on Marker 7 was over. "I have nowhere else to go anyway," he said. "My stall is probably destroyed by now. Everything I owned is gone." His eyes softened again. "Then come with us. I have a ship. We can leave this place, find somewhere safe." "What about the black spiral? They have people everywhere." A cold smile crossed his face. It was not a friendly smile. It was the smile of a hunter who had spotted prey. "The black spiral took my daughter from me," she said. "They kept her in cages. They planned to sell her like an animal. They will pay for that. They will all pay." Her claws extended slightly. They caught the blue light and gleamed. "But first we get you both to safety. Revenge can wait." She turned and picked up with one arm. The child wrapped around her again, face pressed against her mother's neck. "Come, Ho, stay close to me. Move when I move. Stop when I stop. Do not make noise." Ho nodded. He had no weapons, no skills. He was just a cook with a broken heart and empty hands. But he had two to protect him now. A mother who killed without sound, and a daughter who smiled when she ate his soup. Maybe that was enough. They moved toward the tunnel exit together. Somewhere above them, the black spiral was waiting. They did not know what was coming for them. Ship was hidden in the old cargo bay on level 12. It was a small ship, sleek and black, built for speed and silence, perfect for a hunter who needed to move fast and stay hidden. "We need to get there without being seen," said. She was still carrying, who refused to let go of her mother. "The black spiral has guards at every main corridor, but I know another way." They moved through the station's forgotten places, through broken ventilation shafts, through abandoned storage rooms, through gaps in the walls that Ho never knew existed, found paths where there seemed to be no paths. She moved through the station like water flowing through cracks. Ho followed as best as he could. He was not quiet like his feet made sounds. His breathing was loud, but was patient. She waited for him, she guided him. "You are doing well," she whispered once, "for a human." Ho did not know if that was a compliment or an insult. He decided to take it as a compliment. They were halfway to the cargo bay when stopped suddenly. She held up one clawed hand, the sign for silence. Ho froze. He did not move. He tried not to breathe. Voices coming from somewhere ahead, getting louder. "Search every level. Boss says the girl is still on the station." "What about the cook, the human?" "Him too, we find them both. Boss wants them alive, he has questions." His eyes went cold. That dangerous predator cold that Ho had seen before. She sat down gently. "Stay here," she breathed. The words were barely sounds. "Both of you do not move." Then she was gone. Ho did not see her leave. One moment she was there. The next moment the shadows swallowed her. The voices continued. "Check that corridor." "You check it, I hate these lower levels, too dark." "Stop complaining, boss is paying triple for this job." Then silence. Complete total silence. Ho waited. His heart pounded so loud he was sure everyone could hear it, pressed against his leg. Her small hand gripped his pants. A minute passed, 2 minutes, 3. Appeared out of nowhere. "It is clear," she said. "We can continue." Ho looked at her. Her hands were clean. Her clothes were clean. There was no blood anywhere. "The guards?" he asked. "They will not bother us." Ho did not ask more questions. He picked up and they kept moving. They passed the corridor where the voices had been. Ho looked, even though he knew he should not. 4 bodies lay on the ground, 4 Black Spiral gang members. Their eyes were open and empty. There were no wounds that Ho could see, no blood, no marks. They looked like they had simply stopped living. Buried her face in Ho's shoulder. She had seen too. "Mother does not like killing," she whispered, "but she is very good at it." Ho held her. He kept walking. He did not look back. They reached level 12 without meeting more guards, moved faster now. She could sense that time was running out. The Black Spiral would find the bodies soon. Then all of Marker 7 would be locked down. The cargo bay was huge and dark. Old shipping containers were stacked everywhere like metal mountains. Ship sat in a far corner, hidden behind a wall of rusted boxes. "Almost there," said. "We will be off this station in 10 minutes." They were 20 feet from the ship when the lights came on. Bright lights, blinding lights. They turned the darkness into painful white. Ho covered his eyes, screamed, even flinched, her huge black eyes hurt by the sudden brightness. "Well, well, well." The voice came from everywhere, amplified by speakers, cold and mocking. Ho's eyes adjusted. He saw them, dozens of gang members. They stood on the containers. They blocked every exit. They held weapons, guns, knives, electric batons. And in the center of them stood the man, the one who had threatened Ho at his stall, the leader. "The cook and the girl," the man said. He smiled that ugly smile. "And look at this, a big 2. Mama came to rescue her baby." Stepped forward. She put herself between the gang and Ho and... "Let us leave," she said. Her voice was calm, too calm. "Do that and I will spare your lives." The man laughed. All his men laughed. "You will spare our lives. There are 60 of us and 1 of you. Even I cannot fight those odds." "You are wrong." "Am I?" The man pulled out a gun. "A big gun. Are fast, are deadly, but even die when you fill them with enough bullets. I have 30 men with pulse rifles aimed at you right now. You move, they fire, you die." Did not respond. She stood completely still. Her eyes moved slowly, counting the enemies, finding the rifle positions. Ho felt cold fear. He held behind him, trying to shield her with his body. It would not help. If shooting started, they would all die. "Here is what is going to happen," the man said. "You are going to give us the girl. Then you are going to give us the human. He owes us for the trouble he caused. Then maybe, we let you walk away." "No." The word came from simple, final. The man's smile faded. "No." "I said no. You took my daughter, you put her in a cage, you starved her, you were going to sell her like property." His voice grew colder with each word. "There is no deal, there is no walking away for any of you." She moved. Ho had seen fast things before. He had seen racing ships and falling meteors and predator animals on nature shows. None of them were as fast as. She was there, then she was not there, then she was somewhere else. Men screamed, guns fired, but they hit nothing, was never where the bullets went. She flowed through the chaos like smoke, like a shadow with claws. Bodies fell, 1, 2, 5, 10. They did not fall with wounds or blood, they just fell. Claws found the exact spots that stopped life instantly. The back of the neck, the base of the skull, the places where nerves connected to brains. She killed without cruelty, quick and clean. The gang members panicked. They started shooting at each other, trying to hit the blur that moved among them. More men fell from friendly fire than from claws. Ho crouched over, protecting her with his body. Bullets flew overhead. He heard screaming and shouting and the terrible sounds of violence. Then suddenly, it was over. Silence returned to the cargo bay. Ho looked up. Bodies lay everywhere. 60 gang members, all of them down. Some were dead, some were unconscious. None of them were moving. Stood in the center of the carnage. She was breathing hard. There was blood on her claws now, not much but some. Her black clothes had a few tears where bullets had come close. But she was alive, she was standing. Mother ran to her, caught her and held her close. "It is okay, little one, it is over." Ho stood slowly. His legs were shaking. He had never seen anything like that, never imagined anything like that. Looked at him. "Are you hurt?" "No, I am fine." "Good." A sound came from behind them, a groaning sound. Ho turned. The man was still alive. He lay on the ground, unable to move, had done something to his spine. He was paralyzed but conscious. Walked toward him. She moved slowly now. Each step was deliberate. "Please," the man said. His voice was weak, broken. "Please, I was just doing my job. I did not hurt the girl personally, I swear." Crouched down beside him, she looked into his eyes. "You are right," she said. "You did not hurt her personally. Your men did, but you gave the orders, you led them, you profited from her suffering. I will give you money, credits, anything you want." "I do not want your money." "Then what do you want?" Was silent for a moment, then she spoke. "I want you to understand something. My daughter cried for 47 days. She was scared and alone and hungry. She thought she would never see me again. Do you understand what that is like? To be a child, lost and afraid with no hope." The man said nothing. "She would have died on this station, starved to death in the dark, but she survived. Do you know why?" "The human," the man whispered. "The cook." "Yes, the cook. A simple human who had nothing, who had lost everything. He found my daughter and he fed her. He protected her. He gave up his home and his safety for a stranger." Leaned closer. "That is why I am going to let you live. Not because you deserve it, but because Ho showed me something. He showed me that mercy exists, that kindness exists, even in dark places like this." She stood up. "Tell your boss what happened here. Tell everyone. Tell them that a human cook and a mother took down the Black Spiral's operation. Tell them that anyone who hunts children will face the same fate." She turned and walked back to Ho and, "Come, we are leaving." Ho followed her to the ship. His mind was still trying to process what he had seen. The violence, the speed, the terrible efficiency. Was a killer. There was no other word for it. She killed without hesitation or doubt. She was death in living form. But she was also a mother who loved her child more than anything, a mother who had crossed the galaxy to find her stolen daughter. Ho did not know what to feel: fear, gratitude, respect. Maybe all of them. They entered the ship. It was small inside, but clean and comfortable. Ran to a corner and grabbed a worn, stuffed animal that had been waiting for her. "My toy," she cried happily. "Mother, you brought my toy." "Of course, I knew you would want it." Moved to the pilot's seat. Her clawed hands moved over the controls with practiced ease. "Ho, sit there," she pointed to a seat with straps. "We are leaving fast, it might be rough." Ho sat and strapped in, came and sat on his lap, clutching her toy. The ship hummed to life. The cargo bay doors exploded open, blown apart by the ship's weapons. Then they were moving, flying, escaping. Marker 7 shrank behind them. It became a point of light. Then it disappeared entirely. They were free. Ho let out a long breath. He had not realized how tense he was until that moment. "Where are we going?" he asked. "Did not turn around. Somewhere safe, somewhere the black spiral cannot find us." "And after that?" "After that, we rest, we heal, we figure out what comes next." Looked up at Ho. Her black eyes were tired but happy. "You are coming with us, right? You are staying." Ho thought about it. He had no home, no family, no purpose. Everything he had built was gone. But here, on this small ship, with a deadly mother and her soup-loving daughter, he felt something he had not felt in years. He felt like he belonged. "Yes," he said, "I am staying." Smiled and hugged him. Glanced back, and for just a moment, Ho thought he saw her smile too. The ship flew on through the endless dark, toward whatever came next. 3 months had passed since they escaped Marker 7. They had settled on a small moon called Haven's Rest. It was a quiet place. Green hills rolled across the landscape. Clean rivers ran through wide valleys. The sky was always soft blue during the day and filled with stars at night. People here did not ask questions. They did not care where you came from or what you were running from. They only cared if you worked hard and treated your neighbors well. Ho opened a new restaurant. It was smaller than his old place on Earth, just a simple building made of wood and stone. He had painted it bright red because said red was a lucky color. He called it Kitchen. Had argued against that name. She said it would draw attention, make them easier to find, but had begged and pleaded with those big black eyes and eventually gave in. She always gave in when used those eyes. The restaurant served soup, only soup. Ho made a dozen different kinds every day: vegetable soup, meat soup, spicy soup, sweet soup. People came from all over the moon to taste his cooking. Word spread that a human chef made the best soup in 3-star systems. Ho was busy again, happy again. For the first time since the fire that took his wife, he woke up each morning with something to look forward to. Helped in the restaurant after her lessons. She carried bowls to customers. She washed dishes. She tasted every new soup recipe and gave her opinion. She had become quite the food expert. "More salt," she would say seriously, "and it needs something green. Vegetables are important." Ho always listened to her suggestions. She was usually right. Stayed in the shadows. She did not work in the restaurant. She did not interact with the customers. Most people on Haven's Rest did not even know she existed. She moved through the nights, watching, protecting, making sure no threats came close to her family. Because that was what they had become, a family. Not a traditional family, not a family by blood, but a family in the way that mattered most. They cared for each other. They protected each other. They ate dinner together every night after the restaurant closed. "Family is not about what you are born into," said once. "It is about who you choose, who you would die for, who you would kill for." She said it so matter-of-factly that Ho almost laughed. But he understood what she meant. One evening was helping Ho close the restaurant. She swept the floor while he cleaned the big soup pots, sat in the corner, reading something on a data pad. Ho said, "Yes. Can I ask you something?" "You can ask me anything." Stop sweeping. She held the broom in her small hands and looked at him with those serious black eyes. "Why did you help me, that first night? When you found me behind your stall, why did you give me soup?" Ho put down the pot he was cleaning. He thought about the question. He had asked himself the same thing many times. "I do not know exactly," he said honestly. "I saw a hungry child, a scared child, and something inside me said I had to help. But you did not know me. I was a stranger, a stranger. Everyone says are dangerous." "Are dangerous," Ho agreed. "I have seen your mother fight. I know what your kind can do." He walked over and crouched down so he was at her level. "But you know what I also saw that night? I saw a little girl who was alone, who was afraid, who was hungry. I did not see a monster. I saw a child who needed help." "Most humans would have run away," said from her corner. She had put down her data pad and was watching them. "Most humans fear us. They would have called security or ignored her completely. You did neither." "I could not," Ho said simply. "I lost someone I loved very much. After that, I lost the will to care about anything. I was just existing, not living. Then appeared, and suddenly I had a reason to care again, a reason to be brave, a reason to be good." His eyes grew wet. She dropped the broom and ran to him, wrapping her thin arms around his neck. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for being good." Ho held her tight. He felt tears in his own eyes. Stood and walked over to them. She placed her hand on Ho's shoulder. Her touch was light, careful. She was always careful with him, aware of how easily her claws could hurt. She said, "when a stranger saves a child, they become part of the family, not by blood but by bond, a bond that cannot be broken. I told you before, I do not need repayment." "This is not repayment, this is truth. You are part of us now, Ho, whether you want to be or not." Ho looked up at her. Her black eyes were soft, warm, so different from the cold predator eyes he had seen in the cargo bay. "I want to be," he said. "I have not had a family in a long time. I forgot what it felt like." Smiled. It was a small smile, barely there, but it transformed her whole face. "Then it is settled. You are our pack now, our family, and we protect our family." Pulled back and grinned at him. "Does this mean I can call you father?" Ho's heart stopped. The word hit him like a wave, father. He had never been called that before. He had never thought he would be called that. She nodded slightly. "If you want to," he said too, his voice was thick, "I would be honored." His grin got even bigger. "Father, Ho father, I like how it sounds." She hugged him again this time. Watched them with those unreadable black eyes, but Ho thought he saw something there. Approval, maybe even happiness. The three of them stood in the closed restaurant, holding each other. Outside, the stars of Haven's Rest filled the sky. Inside, the smell of soup lingered in the air. A human, a hunter, a child. A family. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into a year. Grew taller. Her gray skin became healthier, almost silver in the sunlight. She went to school with the local children. At first they were afraid of her, had a bad reputation, but was kind and funny and shared her lunch with everyone. Soon she had more friends than any other child on the moon. Stayed protective, but she relaxed over time. She started appearing in the restaurant occasionally. She helped with repairs. She scared away the one robbery attempt with just a look. The word spread that kitchen was protected by something dangerous. Business got even better after that. Ho cooked. That was all he had ever wanted to do. Cook food that made people happy, feed the hungry, warm the cold. He taught his recipes. She learned quickly. Her small hands became skilled at chopping vegetables and stirring pots. She developed her own recipes too, mixing flavors with human cooking. Some of them were strange. Some of them were wonderful. Someday this restaurant will be yours, Ho told her one day. Shook her head. Ours, it will be ours. One night Ho sat on the hill behind the restaurant, watching the stars. Appeared beside him, silent as always. You are thinking about your wife, she said. He nodded. How did you know? You get a certain look, sad but not bitter, missing something beautiful. She would have liked this place, she would have liked. What was her name? He said the name softly. She had a laugh that could fill any room. She made everything brighter just by existing. Was quiet for a moment. I lost my mate too. Father. He died protecting our pack from raiders. It was 5 years ago. I am sorry. Pain fades but never disappears. We carry it with us. It becomes part of who we are. Ho looked at her. Is that a saying? No, just something I believe. They sat in silence, watching the stars together. Two broken people who had found something worth living for again. Ho said after a while, Yes. Thank you for letting me be part of your family. Turned to look at him. Her black eyes reflected the starlight. You saved my daughter. You gave her hope when she had none. You showed her that the universe contains kindness, not just cruelty. She paused. Letting you into our family is not charity, it is justice. It is what you deserve. She reached out and touched his hand. Her clawed fingers were gentle. You are a good human, Ho, the best I have ever met. They sat together until the moon rose. Then they went inside, where was waiting with a pot of soup she had made herself. I tried a new recipe, she announced proudly. Tell me what you think. They sat at the table together. Ho tasted the soup. It was good, really good. Perfect, he said. Beamed, smiled her tiny smile. Outside, the night was peaceful. The dangers of the past felt far away. Marker 7, the black spiral, the fear and the violence, all of it was behind them now. Here on this small moon in this small restaurant, they had built something new, something good. A family made not of blood but of choice, of kindness, of soup shared on cold nights. Ho looked at his daughter and her mother, his family. He had lost everything once, his home, his wife, his will to live. But life had given him a second chance, a chance to love again, a chance to belong again, a chance to matter to someone. All because he had given soup to a starving alien child. Sometimes the smallest kindness leads to the greatest rewards. Ho lifted his bowl. To us, he said. And lifted their bowls too. To family, said. To the future, added. They drank together, 3 souls bound by something stronger than blood. Bound by love. Bound by choice. Bound by soup.